So I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X again now that the Switch 2 edition has come out, and I started looking at some old Xenoblade Chronicles X trailers just because I was kind of curious to see, because we learned about this game really early on uh, in development. But the thing is, I'm not sure we actually did. So this is the very first trailer we got for this game in, where's the button to show me this? On January 23rd of 2013. This was in that Wii U Direct. So if I play this trailer, this game is surprisingly recognizable, like from the get-go, as what we have to the final product. Like this is Primordia, you know, around is it uh Bino Lake or whatever. Um, this is just straight up Primordia, and that's the player character with a longsword. That's in the final game. Um, like this is all just recognizable. It's not like totally different or anything like that. There's the time system, the day-night cycle. This mini map isn't fully finished, but you know, why would it be? Um, there's some technical information here that I don't know what it is. This would be like where your party members are, and it's obviously not finished. Like this game didn't come out for another nearly 3 years. You know, at the point this trailer was released, but like this is Primordia. This is one of the enemies that's in the game. There's the time system. There's day and night cycles. This is an early version. It's a very unpolished, unfinished version of the arts palette, but I mean it's the arts palette. um, and then there's like Grexes, there's party members, there's the gunfighting. Um, yeah, more Grexes. Like this isn't quite how this worked, or how this ended up looking in the final version, but like I said, this is from 3 years beforehand. So the fact that it resembles the final product at all, and there's as much, you know, here as there is kind of what's impressive, you know. There's a Sinicula. There's Skells. There's one of the monkeys. And here you can see the player character getting into a Skell. And the flight module is here, and they're flying around and doing Skell combat. Like this is in the final game. Like this is here, riding around. Like this exists. I think it's just really fascinating how much, even from the early onset of this game, how much of it made it to the final product. Because when you can think about like Breath of the Wild when it got revealed in I think it was 2015, or 14, I forget. Like the version of Hyrule that was shown at the time is unrecognizable to the final version of Hyrule that we got in the final game, you know, 2-3 years later. Whereas here with Xenoblade Chronicles X, it's like, oh yeah, this is about right. So this is the trailer that was released during E3 that year. So same year, just about 5 months later. And it's still surprisingly recognizable. Like the cutscene that this is from it plays, is it like chapter 6 or 7 where you get your Skell for the first time? Like this is that cutscene. So they would have had, you know, at least that much of the main story, you know, built and constructed, and cutscenes, you know, designed and created for that. And I don't think this cutscene changed dramatically either. Like, I think if I played them side by side, they'd be pretty similar. And this is NLA. very recognizably, NLA. The Blade Tower countdown is working. The mini map looks to be much closer to being done, than it was. But I mean, yeah, that's a character, or that's a enemy that made it into the final game. You can see the crystal icon for item pickups and the little, I don't know what to call this, but the little like data tag or data tail attached to each one. And here's Oblivia. Like, this is just straight up Oblivia. That's Caldros. This is what Caldros looks like in the final version. Primordia at night. We have the same, enemies. You can even see a little bit of the Oblivia ring in the background. Like, it's just, and then here we have the flight module again being shown. So it's just crazy how much of this game was finished, or seemed to be, somewhat finished, or at least known, some kind of a known quantity, by the time this trailer got put together. And this is the I forget what the boss is, but like the chapter 10 boss, Zufarg or whatever. Like, this is that boss fight. So that was somehow functional and created and developed, in the time. So then we get to E3 2014. This is about a year before launch. I guess 18 months, because it came out in December. And this is the last time we see the game in Japanese, in the West anyway, before the English translation started being used. And this is where I think I can find the most differences between this and this trailer and the final game. That's not what Blade stands for in the English version. It's so in the Japanese version, at least I don't know if it was in the final version, or if it changed, but at least in this trailer, it's Beyond the Logos, Artificial Destiny Emancipator. That doesn't really mean anything. Beyond the Logos. I don't know what Logos is doing here. Like, this isn't a reference to anything. Artificial Destiny Emancipate. This doesn't really mean anything. Builders, what is it in English? Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Like, yeah, that makes sense. This does not. So I don't know if these are just rough translations, or if they're intentionally obscuring something, or what. It's kind of hard to tell. But Blade changed. And this is, the opening cutscene after you create your character, and it's the same. There's Elma. And I don't remember any kind of line like this in the final version. Oh, a vessel with which to meet our Lord has come to me. I would assume that the character talking about this would potentially be talking about the Ares, but I don't think that quite makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know what this line is referring to, or how it got changed in the final version. We lost the Earth. That stayed the same. We traveled so far to reach this planet. Yeah. We'll wipe you out. This is the duty of growth. This is something I'm not sure what the reference is either. I don't know if growth is some kind of stand-in for ganglion, or if it's some kind of a poor translation, or if the story was potentially being changed to be like growth of the human race, like, and destruction's like a result of that. Like, I'm not certain. If someone speaks Japanese, please tell me how this how this is different. But yeah, as is, I don't know what growth really refers to here, but it's in capital, but it's a capital G, so it's referring to a person or a thing, like it's a noun, you know. So so yeah, I'm not certain. Maybe we would be better if we disappeared from the universe. I think there's something kind of like that said in the final version of the game. And they really love showing off this cutscene of everyone racing to the Lifehold core. This is basically the final cutscene in the game, and they show this off a few times. So, here we are, 18 months in, and this part of the game is done. So, I'd love to know more about like the process of Xenoblade Chronicles X and how long it took them to construct the world, what early versions of Mira looked like, because as far as I can tell, by the time they started showing the game, Mira was to some extent set. At least insofar as they were showing it in the trailers. Never coexist with likes of you. I think that's in the game. Does this mean we're basically dead already? There's a version of this line in the final game. He's a traitor. There's a final line. Luxol. I'm pretty sure this is some kind of a typo or mistranslation of Luxar. I think that makes sense. I'm pretty sure this is some kind of a early version of Luxar, the Grandmaster. So, shoot, go on, stop it, all of you. These are just so generic that I can't. We will purge this cancer. I don't know if there's a line quite like that in the game. I don't know if anyone ever refers to another race or anything as some kind of a cancer that they're trying to purge. Maybe the prone early on do. I don't remember. That is the destiny of growth. So again, we have the growth with a capital G return. Will not let this tragedy be repeated. Humanity should be wiped out of existence. So, the biggest things from this trailer, honestly, I think are growth, whatever that is, and how was it in the thing? The deal with Luxol or Luxar, and the Blade acronym being just so strange. But like I said, a lot of these could have been just translation problems, because no reason this game would be fully in English, or even really any part of it would be in English yet, considering it was still a ways off from release. In here we get Tatsu. God bless Tatsu. He's the same. So this is the E3 2015 trailer, and this is the trailer that came out just about 6 months before the game came out in North America. I think it was out by this point in Japan. But here we're seeing kind of the same stuff that we've seen in the past couple trailers. The destruction of Earth, but it's in a little bit of a higher quality, more finished format, as you would expect of a game that's out in Japan and about to come out in North America. Here you can see the UI is fully translated. This is Noctilum, the Rustpool Banks. In the morning, this mini map is fully finished now. Enemies are being properly level tagged and coded in the UI, and this is the final version of the game that we got. So there's not really anything new to point out in this trailer, unfortunately. But it's just kind of the nice cap to show how the game ultimately progressed from when it was first shown in January of 2013 to release in December of 2015. So So yeah, this is one of my favorite games. Honestly, it's becoming one of my favorite games. I hope Monolith Soft takes another crack at a game in this style in the Switch 2 lifespan, with the full power of Switch 2, being a known quantity. And I think that'd be awesome. So that's all I've got in this video. It's a pretty quick and straightforward one. I just wanted to take another opportunity to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X, because I've been enjoying my second playthrough of the game already.